Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to today's We Are One webinar. It's my pleasure. Oh, by the way, my name is Terry Matthews. I work at the Scottsdale Jin Shin Jyutsu office, and it's my pleasure to bring to you today Anita Willoughby, who will be the host for today's We Are One. Welcome, Anita.
Thank you, Terry, and welcome, Terry, because yes, we've switched from LA to Terry, and I'm grateful that you're here with me today, all of you, and I see people are checking in from Berlin, New York City, Brazil, Chile, all over the world. Wow, this is so unbelievable. When I see
exciting.
this, it just melts my heart.
Yeah, welcome everybody. So as you're coming in, we're going to start moving.
Whoop, I just lost Terry. I just lost you. Okay. All right. Today, I wanted to start with giving information about the spleen flow and doing the spleen flow together around the world. Why did I choose the spleen flow? Because one of my favorite sayings about the spleen flow is that it takes sunlight and makes it into usable energy for the body. The attitude also, which disharmonizes our spleen flow, is the attitude of worry. And worry used to be, before I found Jin Shin Jyutsu, used to be one of my big projects. And while people are joining, I'll just tell you a little story about worry. Many years ago, in the beginning, like 32 years ago, the beginning of my Jin Shin Jyutsu practice, my husband and my daughter went away on a car trip. And this is the day before cell phones. And they were not home when they were supposed to be home, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. So progressively, I started to worry. And I worried so much that I visualized all the terrible things that could have happened. And I expended so much energy calling people, asking if they'd heard from them. I wasted a lot of creative time. And then when they finally walked in the door, they just said they were caught in traffic. And then I made a resolution. Instead of worrying, I would wait till I got the phone call. I'm no longer projecting into the future of what if. So let's begin today by holding our thumb with our opposite hand. I'm choosing to take my right hand and hold my left thumb to help the attitude of worry, which will help harmonize and help our spleen flow function to its best ability. I wanted to show you these slides. I'm having so much fun with slides for these We Are One series. Whoops. I'm not in the right, oh, here we go. That was the wrong, I think that was yesterday. Okay, so here, start now. There we go. Terry, can you, maybe I can figure out how to move my picture. Thank you. So here is a slide about the spleen. The spleen is located just to the left of the solar plexus. The solar plexus is named because it has a resemblance to the sun. Basically, it's located in the center of our body, and it is a panel which receives sunlight. So it turns out that one of my understandings through Jin Shin Jyutsu is that we are creatures that grow towards the light. If you were on my last presentation on the safety energy lock number 11, it's letting go to make room for the light of the seventh depth. So the spleen now is doing this even on a more physiological level. So sunlight comes into our solar plexus, goes into the spleen, And then the spleen sends it to the heart. And then on this macrocosm, microcosm level, the heart is the sun center of the body. So it radiates out all directions to send light and energy through the blood to the whole body. So the importance of the spleen in relation to the heart. The spleen supports all the other organs, all the other body function energies, Jin Shin Jyutsu. It is a total body harmonizer. It's our energy source. It's like we are plugged into sunlight as long as our spleen is functioning. And by the way, we all need a little bit of sunlight every day. We all grow toward the light just as nature does. Okay, so holding our thumb will help harmonize the spleen. Even though we'll find out in a few minutes, the spleen flow starts in the big toe, and we go to the feet to start the spleen flow. But this holding the thumb will harmonize our first step. Will harmonize our stomach and our spleen. So help us bring light into the body. The spleen flow also helps harmonize our nervous system. It's part of the sympathetic nervous system. And there's a whole series of nerve endings and a gathering of nerves right there in that center of the solar plexus. So it radiates to the whole body from that center. Be sure to get at least 10 minutes of sun every day. So here's a little bit more. Oops, next slide. So in preparing these slides, I had a little bit of fun. Here's all what happens when we worry, but we put all the worry in different languages. So in Filipino, magalalala is a word for worry. In Swahili, wasi-wasi. In Spanish, preocupación, excuse me. And I don't know if I'm going to do any of the rest of them because my language skills are not perfect, but you can see that worry is basically too many thoughts going through our head without being present in the moment. We're worried about this, or we're worried about what we did in the past. We worry about the future. We're everywhere but in the moment. It is debilitating. It drains our energy. And I started to think when I was preparing for this presentation that worry actually makes us so dense and closes off, so we're not receiving sunlight. So the more that we worry, the less energy that we have. So the less energy we have to do what we need to stop us worrying. Okay, so in all these different languages, the clutter of worry in our minds. And so we have the special spleen flow, which we will practice today. And oops, here it comes. So here is a picture of the spleen flow. So you see the face on the spleen flow. It's a happy face. And the thumbs are all up because we're holding our thumbs to harmonize our spleen, and we're able to receive sunlight into our bodies. So let's take our left hand and place it on our coccyx at the base of the spine. You don't have to sit on the hand because that can numb your hand, but just come above it, slightly above it, your left hand on your coccyx, and then your right hand. See, I can do this without moving my earbuds. The center of the heel, that little X on the diagram. Now, right before we get started, just let me say we could either touch the inside of our heel the inside of our knee for the first step, or our pubic bone. Those are our choices to make it more comfortable and to help us do a spleen flow with ease. So let's start. Left hand on coccyx, right hand, safety energy lock number 5. So safety energy lock number 5. Erase fear and rise above the 5 senses. So tune in. First step of any flow is the anchor step. Close your eyes. Go into your breath. And visualize your solar plexus. This panel that receives sunlight and sends those rays of light through the heart to feed the whole body. Even in the darkness, we can do a spleen flow on ourselves. Even when it's a cloudy day, the light is always present. Open up the tension in that solar plexus area, the center of our body. This first step will help us regenerate, renew, reinvigorate. And then the right hand comes from the 5, the inside of the heel, to the left center just below the rib cage. So just in the center of the rib cage, it's safety energy lock number 14, rib cage on the left side of the body where the spleen is located. So we're releasing, helping if we have tension from the worries of our life, releasing that tension so our spleen can assimilate light. Our 14s are all about our sustenance. It's in the area of the stomach, the spleen, the liver, and the gallbladder. It's the beginning of being human, the 14s. The ability to digest, transform light into matter, energy into form. We are holding our coccyx in these first two steps. And the coccyx is part of the main central vertical universal harmonizing energy. So we're connecting that light into the spleen or with the spleen to flow through the body. So the movement of the spleen from the big toe and its movement pattern up to the chest. We are connecting with the light of the sixth depth, the main central, and also the solar plexus light. And now we take our left hand from the coccyx and go to the right side, just at the third rib, off on the right side of the rib cage, center of that third rib, just above the breast, to safety energy lock number 13. Again, regeneration and generation. So it's connecting to the light. It's love thy enemies. 13 flow will help the bust line and helps the heart and the lungs to generate new creation and regenerate that creation. So feel your hand still on your spleen area, the left 14, over the solar plexus. Feel the sunlight entering the body. And then from the 13, love thy enemies, from the center of the third rib, we go back to the left side, below the collarbone to safety energy lock number 22. Just above, like the top of the lung energy, the lung organ. And this is where we receive, we gather, and we disperse to the whole body. So we gather the light, we gather the elements, and we share it with the rest of the body, the torso. And that's the end of the right side spleen flow. Let's take our right hand, place it on our coccyx now. That antenna for the main central, for the source, connection to source. And then, whoops, here we go. The left hand goes on the left 5, the inside of the knee. Once again, I'll go back to the picture just to get you started. Oh, there it is. Okay. We can hold the left inside of the ankle, the left 1, the inside of the knee, or the center, the pubic bone. Either of those choices. Okay, so we're holding the left 5 and the coccyx to connect, to open up the solar plexus, to allow the light in. And then slowly we'll just do the first step of the left spleen flow and come back. And if you haven't held your other thumb, let's just hold our other thumb to close So thank you for that journey into how one of the many ways that our body absorbs sun. We are really like plants. We have photosynthesis. We take sunlight through that solar plexus, through the spleen, and we jumpstart the heart and the whole body. So the spleen flow, for the first 10 years of my Jin Shin Jyutsu exploration, I did spleen flows almost every day. It saved my life. I had a very, very busy, hectic New York City life as a dancer and as a mother, as an instructor, teacher in dance, performer. And so spleen, I learned, and I love the spleen. And once again, I will close with saying that the spleen takes sunlight and makes it into usable energy for the body. So thank you very much. Bring your hands together in prayer if you choose, and bow your head back to the oneness, and gratitude for the light, and gratitude for each other, and gratitude for being present together around the world in this We Are One series. Thank you.
Thank you, Anita. Thank you, everybody. Just to say that the spleen accompanies the stomach in being one of the two organ function energies that boost the immune system. And those of you that saw Anita a couple of weeks back on the 2-hour webinars talking about the immune system, this flow would be really good to practice. And she's going to be continuing her discussion of immune systems and strengthening on July the 11th for another 2-hour webinar. And just quickly, these We Are One webinars are now in English on a Monday, Wednesday, and a Friday only. And then they're in different languages on a Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So they're going to be in French, German, Spanish, and Portuguese, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, English, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays.
Thank you.
So thanks again, Anita. Wonderful. And thank you, everybody. And we'll see you again on Wednesday, same time.
Okay,
Thank you, everybody.
Take care. Thank you.